and a very good evening to all of you. I, Sayyida Taqdees, on the behalf of Jacaranda Family Club, welcome you to this lecture. Our today's topic of lecture is self-transformation and personal fitness goals. Self-transformation is a broad, often lifelong process that involves deep fundamental changes in one's character, mindset, and behavior. It's about evolving into a better version of yourself, whether that means overcoming limited beliefs, developing new habits, or enhancing personal relationships. Whereas personal fitness goals are specific targets related to physical health and fitness, such as achieving a certain weight, running a marathon, or building muscle. Fitness goals are typically more concrete and measurable, focusing on the physical aspect of health. To shed a light on this topic, we have invited Dr. Iftikhar Shehzad. Thank you so much, sir, for taking time out of your busy schedule and being here with us tonight. Now, I would like to call Dr. Iftikhar Shehzad to please come on the stage and educate us on this topic. Please, sir.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah. Assalamu alaikum to all of you. First of all, I would like to thank the management of Jacaranda Family Club for arranging this presentation. Then I would like to thank Brother Imran Al-Hadi for inviting me to speak in front of you on this topic. I would also like to thank my co-presenter for tonight, Brother Usman Ilahi, who has not only helped me in preparing this PowerPoint presentation, but will also be inshallah sharing towards the later part of the presentation his personal story of self-transformation. Last but not least, I'm thankful to you all as well for taking your time coming and attending this program. So thank you so much. In today's presentation, the topic that has been given to me is the self-transformation and personal fitness goal. Before we dive into this subject, I would like to know how many of us know about the butterfly effect. I just need raise of hands. Butterfly effect. Okay, thank you. So butterfly effect, some of you as already know, it's a phenomenon in which small actions can lead to very large, unforeseen results. It is based on the mathematical theory of chaos. What happened is that a computer program was in the development phases, and the program was about the weather forecast. And the person that was developing their program, he made a mistake in one of the formulas that he was using. He used at the 5th decimal place, he used one extra one at the 5th decimal place, 0.00001. And that, in that meteorology program, was projecting a tsunami. And when he looked back, that where is it coming from? Because that was not actually supposed to be happening in the program. And then he realized that he had made that small mistake where he had put it that one. So we are not focusing on the mistake, but we are focusing on the phenomenon where a very small action, a one at the 5th decimal place, resulting in very large unforeseen result. So that phenomenon is called butterfly effect. The important point in the butterfly effect is the small action that we can take. So in today's presentation, from the beginning, if we can make a point that just like the butterfly effect, if we can take some small steps to improve our personal fitness. And as it was mentioned in the introduction and mentioned very rightly, that the personal fitness goals are measurable, concrete goals that can be achieved. And inshallah, in the presentation, we will be going through them, and we will be touching upon some of the aspects of the goals that would be measurable, that would be concrete, and we would also we will be trying to touch upon the explanation or a better understanding, so to say, of the topic in itself. What self-transformation is, what personal fitness or what fitness at large means, and what could be fitness goals. The butterfly effect story that I shared with you, it also resonates with a hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, where Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said that ahabbul a'mali ila Allah, the beloved action to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are adwamuha, that are done consistently, wa in aqal, even if they are small. So the action, even if they are small, that's fine, but consistency, doing them consistently is the key. And that is true for the self-transformation at large, whether it is self-transformation in terms of the personal relationships, whether it's being self-transformation in terms of the personal development religiously, or whether it be the self-transformation keeping in mind personal fitness goals. So, Khairul Umuri, the best actions in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are the ones that are done consistently, even if they are smaller. So that applies here as well. So consistency and keep doing it even if they're small actions. So first of all, let's go through the terms that we'll be covering in today's presentation: personal transformation, fitness, and fitness goals. Before we go into that, I would also like to give a disclaimer that in today's presentation, it is not a personal consultation session. So expectation should not be that after today's presentation, I'll be learning that how can I take care of my knee pain, or if my back is hurting, what is the solution to that? So it is not a personal consultation session. Rather, we will be discussing generalized guidelines how to improve our personal fitness. So let's move on. Transformation. Significant changes in form, structure, appearance, or function of anything. And that can be applied to self-transformation as well. So hence, self-transformation is the process of fundamentally changing one's habits, behaviors, and mindset in order to grow and evolve as a person. As been taught by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that ensure that your today is better than your yesterday, and your tomorrow is better than your today. What is it referring to? That is self-transformation. So self-transformation is a continuous, consistent process. We need to be cognizant and mindful of it, keeping in mind, as today's topic is personal fitness, so my today's habits, behaviors, and mindset in terms of the fitness goals, is it better than my yesterday? Am I planning for a better tomorrow or not? So if we keep this hadith in mind, that our today should be better than our yesterday and our tomorrow should be better than today, that will make life easy in terms of self-transformation. The personal fitness goals. It was mentioned that physical fitness. The modern definition of health is not just limited to physical fitness. It is one of the components of the fitness. The holistic definition has actually more than these three components, or the physical fitness. This is not just the full definition or the comprehensive definition of the health or fitness in general. Some definition has up to 7 or 8 components of it, but for today's discussion, we have kept our discussion limited to three major pillars or three major components of the health. We'll be starting with the nutritional fitness, mental fitness, physical fitness. Other than that, spiritual fitness, environmental fitness, emotional fitness, there could be other aspects of the fitness as well, but we'll be trying to cover everything under these three headings of nutritional fitness, mental fitness, and physical fitness. So let's start with the nutritional fitness. The ability to consume a variety of nutrients through a balanced intake of carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals, and water. So a balanced intake. For some people, due to some psychological disorders or due to some social influences and social factors, they're not able to consume a balanced intake of carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, and minerals, like the vegan movement and so many things. It's not just, before it used to be just the vegan thing, but now it has so many other things to it, that I'm not eating this, I'm not eating that. That is actually not a balanced approach in terms of the nutritional fitness. If we look at it, we should establish a routine of 3 regular diets, including fiber-rich foods. We should limit our processed foods intake and sugar intake. What we consume in terms of food, first and foremost, we need to have a routine of a dietary routine. Not whenever, wherever, whatever I want to eat, I get it and I eat it. There are actually different ways of tests from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Our test, the society where we are living in, the test is of the test of abundance. Everything is in abundant. Some people's test is test of scarcity. They don't have enough to eat, but our test is the test of abundance. Everything is available. And that actually leads to not following a regular routine. Instead of consuming 3 regular meals, it's just every time it's eating and eating. So we should be mindful of that. And what we are consuming, pizzas and processed foods and soft drinks and all that. So we should be mindful of that. So the first thing is eat regular balanced diet. And again, we're talking about the fitness, nutritional fitness, and in nutritional fitness, how to achieve that: eat regular balanced diet, have a routine. The next point is practice portion control. As I mentioned, that our test is of the test of abundance. So what we can do about that is that we be mindful of portion size to avoid overeating. Use smaller plates. Eat slowly. Listen to your body's hunger and fullness cues. So these are some of the tips that we are sharing here. Let's try, inshallah, to follow them. The expectation or the goal is not to scrape everything after today's lecture. Taking one step at a time, but in the right direction. So some of the points that might resonate to our habits that we have developed over the years, if we find something that, oh, I am a culprit of that, I guess myself, I'm also, or might be a culprit of certain habits. So let's take this opportunity and try to correct them slowly and steadily, one step at a time. Adwamuha wa aqal, again. Consistent, even if it's smaller step. The third one is hydrate properly. Try to consume at least 8 glasses of water, 2 liters of water. That can change according to climate, weather, the types of job that we do. But the average should be about 2 liters per day. Next is the mental fitness. So we are done with one part of it, the nutritional fitness. Now here the mental fitness. The ability to handle stress, maintain focus, manage emotions, and engage in productive thinking and problem solving. So this is the definition of the mental fitness, or so to say mental health. Unfortunately, due to various stimuli, we are facing so many mental fitness challenges, and most of the time we are unable to recognize them, and the problems are increasing and increasing and increasing. So paying attention to it. Sometimes the problem can be solved with just simple tips that we're going to share, inshallah, in the next few slides, but sometimes one might need a professional advice or therapy for that. So mental fitness, good mental health is essential for maintaining overall well-being, helping us navigate daily life, work productively, and build meaningful relationships. So mental health is very important for that. Some tips that, as I mentioned, practice self-care routine. What do we mean by that? Exercise. Physical exercise has a direct correlation with the mental well-being as well. So try to have a routine of physical exercise, proper nutrition, sufficient sleep, journaling. Things come to mind, try to write it down, preferably with a pen and paper, but if not, cell phone will work too. But better is pen and paper. So journaling is a good habit to address a lot of the mental health issues. Taking breaks, whether it's a break in the 8 hours working day, after a couple of hours, take a break for a few minutes. Just sit down, do nothing, close your eyes, or maybe leave your chair and walk around. Just give yourself a few minutes, take a break. Or it could be a break like summer vacations. Give yourself a few days off of the busy work schedule, take time off. So taking breaks. Practice self-care routine, exercise, proper nutrition, sufficient sleep, journaling, taking breaks. Another technique could be engage in activities of joy and relaxation. It could be different for different people. Would depend on personal preferences, likes and dislikes. Reading. Some people might find it very interesting, and that would help them with reducing their stresses. Gardening, creative artworking, cooking, likely for both male and female. Getting involved in causes of public interest. Sometimes you might have a desire or a passion for certain causes. So get involved in those. I'm missing today Brigadier Hamid Sir. He's a champ of that, and so if anybody amongst us would want to get involved in any activity of public interest, especially in the DHA, Brigadier Hamid Sir is probably our to-go person, and he can help us with some project. We just had a wonderful program last month on parenting. So some people might find that program interesting. Get involved, become a part of such focus groups which are working on causes that might be of interest to you. Especially if it is a cause of public interest, that is even better. Khairun nas man yanfa'un nas. The best people are those who are beneficial to others. These activities can create moments of happiness and serve as mental breaks, feel good effect. Another activity could be create a support network, friends, family, colleagues. Communicating with others when feeling low can lead to advice, empathy, and connection. So these are some of the tips. Sleep is mentioned earlier as well. Getting quality sleep is often overlooked, but it's essential for recovery, cognitive function, and emotional regulation. Our last part is about the physical fitness. That is probably the most important part, and it is correlated with the other two parts that you mentioned. Exercise, physically fit people usually have good dietary habits as well, and also exhibits better mental health also. So let's move to the last, but probably the most important part, physical fitness. Again, just a recap, we are covering the three pillars of health. First one, we talked about the nutritional health, then we moved to the mental health, and now we are talking about the physical health or physical fitness. So the ability of the heart, lungs, muscles, and joints to perform optimally. It has different components, as we have divided the health into three major pillars. Similarly, physical fitness can be divided into these four major aspects. Probably the most important is the cardiovascular endurance, our stamina. You might have heard I'm getting out of breath. I get tired easily. So that relates to the cardiovascular endurance. That is the muscular strength and muscular endurance. Third one is the flexibility, and fourth one is the body composition. When we're talking about this, let's not forget that the best path is the middle path. We don't have to become overconscious about the fitness, a balanced approach, because there are different body types which probably will need different energy level requirements, different jobs, different requirements. So it is not, and as I mentioned earlier, that in today's session we're talking generalized. It's not that one size fit all. So when we're talking about these points, every point is not for everyone. So whatever is relevant to you, please take a note of that. We have also, I've prepared some handouts, so don't forget to take them with you as well. I would just like to check my time. Okay. So cardiovascular endurance, the efficiency with which the body delivers oxygen and nutrients needed for muscular activity and transports waste products from the cells. As I mentioned, this is probably one of the most important aspect of the physical fitness. We mentioned in the beginning that the fitness goals should be measurable. How do we measure them? So I have listed some tools here. For example, to self-assess your cardiovascular endurance, you can take the 6 minutes walk test. It is preferable for elderly people or people with cardiopulmonary health conditions like COPD, or having heart conditions, or morbid obese people. So 6 minutes walk test could be a good starting point. How to do? The details are mentioned in the handout. We don't have time to go into detail, but this could be for the elderly people in the audience, that could be a good starting point. For the younger adults, 12 minutes walk or run test or Cooper test, that could be a good starting point. And then, for example, if your score on the 6 minutes walk test is 200 meters, make yourself a goal to take it to 250 meters over the period of next 1 month or 2 months. So, and same is true for the 12 minutes walk or run or the Cooper test as well. The next point is the muscular strength and endurance. The greatest amount of force a muscle or muscle group can exert in a single effort and to perform repeated movements with a sub-maximal force for extended periods is the definition of muscular strength and endurance. Again, how to check your muscular strength and muscular endurance. 1 rep max, that's the test again mentioned in detail in the handout. And all these tests that I have listed here doesn't require any sophisticated equipment or a lot of resources. Can be done in your own home setting, or for example the 12-minute walks test can be done in the Central Park that we have in DHA. We have marks after every, I guess, 100 or 200 meters. So we, alhamdulillah, have the resources. It can be done without any sophisticated devices and equipment. So 1 rep max test is a good measure of your muscular strength and endurance. Push-up test, how many push-ups you can do in 1 minute. The normal values, age-related, are again listed in the handout. Please refer to that as a reference point. The next point is the flexibility. The range of motion available at a joint is the manifestation or exhibition of the flexibility that we have. Flexibility related issues are sometimes caused by bad postures. The postures that we have that can lead to flexibility related issues. Stiffness of one muscle group. For example, in elderly people, hip flexors, the muscles in the front of the hip joint, they start get stiffening and contracting, and can lead into other fitness related issues. Can be tested with sit and reach test. Again, can be performed in the home setting. Do your own sit and reach test, determine your body's flexibility and take it from there. Try to increase or improve the numbers that you get. Trunk rotation is another good measure to begin with for the flexibility test. Body composition. The ratio of body weight to lean body mass, including muscles, bones, and organs. A good check for that, BMI, simple basic metabolic index, that can be checked. How many of the audience, please just raise hands, how many people in the audience know their BMI? Okay, so it's very simple. Your body weight in kgs divided by your height in meters. The normal values are mentioned in the handout. Skin fold calipers. This actually do require that device, not very expensive. How to perform this test is mentioned there. These tools can be used, and that could be a good starting point. Again, don't be too much worried about your body weight. Let's first find out what your weight should be. BMI will tell you what is the normal weight for your height. Exercise is the single most important ingredient for physical fitness, and we did talk about it, that physical fitness is related to the other aspects of fitness. So exercise. Exercise can be classified and adopted based on age, and other than age, there are also different types of exercises as well. So, for example, the most common and the term that we will be seeing in the next slides, the aerobic exercise or cardio exercise, which usually involves larger muscle groups, stresses the cardiopulmonary system, then strength training. And again, every exercise is, we mentioned, 4 different areas or 4 different aspects of the physical fitness. Can anybody help me that repeating them? What were the 4 areas of the physical fitness that we discussed here? Cardiovascular endurance was the first one. What was the second one? Muscle strength and endurance. What was the third one?
Flexibility.
Flexibility, good. The fourth one? Body composition, exactly. So each of these exercises, it's not strictly working on that one aspect, but for example, if we take the aerobic activities, that will enhance our cardiovascular endurance. I don't want to make it too dry or boring for you, so let's quickly go through these slides. What I have done here in these next few slides, that age-related exercises recommendations. That what would be age appropriate activities or exercises. For example, children and adolescent ages 5 to 17, for them, aerobic activities like running, swimming, cycling, and team sports, soccer, basketball, that could be a good exercise. Strength training. Body weight exercises like push-ups, squats, and climbing. Flexibility exercises like stretching and gymnastics. Bone strengthening, jumping, skipping, and hopping. Duration at least 60 minutes of moderate to vigorous physical activity daily, with vigorous activity 3 times per week. Emphasis of this should be fun, engaging activities to encourage enjoyment of movement. The age group that we talked about, 5 to 17. I've heard through friends that in DHA, alhamdulillah, there are initiatives that is actually calling the youth to get involved in physical activities like soccer, and I guess a soccer tournament is just happening next weekend, I believe, 27, 28, 29. If you guys are not aware of those activities, make sure to contact Brother Imran Al-Hadi, who is sitting in the front row. Him and his kids are actually leading those activities. Similarly, there are other activities that are happening that involves the physical activity. So this is a challenge, especially the parents sitting in the audience. The kids are becoming, couch potatoes, stuck to their screens round the clock. If you don't take it from them, they go to bed with their screen, their tablet, their cell phone, and they wake up with that. So to help the kids, to help the youth get involved in physical activities, help them to the personal fitness goals. We adults, older adults or younger adults, can make ourselves goals, but the kids, the 5 years, the 8 years, the 10 years old, who cannot make their goals, I guess the responsibility lies upon the parents to make goals for them and try to get them involved in physical activities. Again, as I mentioned, that alhamdulillah, we have the resources. Let's take benefit of those resources. Send your kids to the activities that the kids are involved in, the physical activity, and so on and so forth. The next age group, 18 to 35. Again, these, you guys don't need to worry about the details in these. They're part of the handout that has been prepared to be distributed amongst you. So, the cardiovascular aerobic activity for the younger adults, again similar activities, but more time, 150 to 300 minutes of moderate intensity, or 75 to 150 minutes of vigorous intensity aerobic activities per week. It is not necessary that we start with the vigorous and the 150 to 300 minutes. For example, if somebody is not doing any exercise at all, they don't need to worry about the 300 and the 150. Let's start with 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Let's start somewhere. Let's start it somewhere. Strength training, weightlifting, body weight exercises, push-ups, squats. Focus on 2 to 3 days per week for all major muscle groups. Going to gyms and utilizing the equipment, exercise equipment there, that could be a way to do some of these activities. But if not, push-ups and squats and all these doesn't require any equipment. Flexibility, stretching exercises, pilates to maintain range of motions, high intensity interval trainings, and again, emphasis for this age group is building strength, endurance, and maintaining an active lifestyle. Self-transformation. So wherever we are, as we mentioned in the beginning, making our todays better than yesterday and planning for a better tomorrow than today. For 36 to 50 years of age, middle age, 150 minutes of moderate intensity or 75 minutes of vigorous intensity activities weekly. Strength training, same flexibility and mobility exercises, core strength, exercises that helps you strengthen your core muscles to prevent back and neck pain and other problems. Emphasis here is on consistency. Middle age, work-related stresses, busy schedules. So try to find yourself time. Be consistent. Injury prevention. Don't get overexcited. Don't injure yourself. Take it easy. And flexibility. For older adults, again, cardiovascular and strength training, balance training. Balance training, I've included it for this age group and then 65 and above. Exercises that will help you improve your balance, like standing on one foot, heel to toe walking, Tai Chi, that marching in place, kitchen sink exercises that we call, that can help you improve your balance. Similarly important for both genders, male and female. Flexibility and mobility exercises, stretching exercises, mobility drills to maintain joint health. Again, as I mentioned earlier as well, proper posture. When you do the exercises, proper footwear, it's very important in order to avoid injuries. Emphasis here is on low impact. Some of the strength training that we mentioned for the earlier age groups, not recommended for this age group. Low impact activities that enhance strength, balance, and flexibility. Consideration for any pre-existing conditions like arthritis, high blood pressure, or diabetes. Weight could also be an area of concern for this age group. 65 and older, walking, swimming, cycling, aim for 150 minutes of moderate intensity activities per week. Strength training, light resistance exercises, resistance bands, therabands, that could be used for that, light weights, at least 2 times a week to maintain muscle mass and bone density. Flexibility and mobility exercises, gentle stretching, range of motion exercises to maintain flexibility and joint health. Functional movements, activities that mimic daily tasks. Example, standing from seated position, sit to stand, marching in place, tandem walk. These are some of the activities that can be helpful to enhance functional independence. So functional independence and safety during the activities should be a focus for this age group. Emphasis on low impact gentle exercises that focus on maintaining mobility, strength, and coordination. Benefits of exercise. So we did talk in detail about the aspects of the physical fitness, some exercise recommendations for different age groups. Now, towards the end, we are going to talk about some of the common benefits of the physical activities or exercises. First and foremost, improves physical health, physical fitness, exercise. Help control weight, which reduces risk of chronic diseases like hypertension, diabetes, obesity. Boost overall energy and reduces fatigue. reduces stress, anxiety, and depression. We'll talk about the mental fitness in the beginning. Improves sleep quality, essential for healthy mind. Supports better focus, memory, and cognitive function. These are some of the benefits of the exercise. Fitness goals. We did talk about the transformation and setting goals throughout the presentation. Let's recall some of the points that we have already discussed. That be mindful of your body. It is an amana with you from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in a line hadith has mentioned some of the rights upon us. And it is, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has mentioned different rights in that hadith. And one of the rights mentioned there is وَإِنَّ لِبَدَنِكَ عَلَيْكَ حَقًّا. That indeed your body has a right upon you. So our bodies, which is an amana from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, has a right upon us. How can we fulfill that? Could be two aspects that are coming to mind. One, not using our physical beings in actions that are not desired or that are not acceptable to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That could be any action, even if it is some exercise in a way that is not acceptable to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not using our bodies there. And then being mindful of the well-being of this body that we have been entrusted with. So prioritize your physical health by starting small daily walks, balanced meals, and regular rest. Commit to a holistic lifestyle that nurtures both your body and soul in service to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Remember that caring for your physical body is an act of worship and gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This was probably it from my side. Whatever good that I shared, that was from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whatever was wrong or not delivered properly, that was my shortcoming. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive me for that. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all of us and our loved ones with good health, mental health, nutritional health, physical health. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the ability to fulfill all our rights and responsibilities, including the right وَإِنَّ لِبَدَنِكَ عَلَيْكَ حَقًّا, that indeed your body has right upon you as well. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the tawfiq to fulfill that right as well. Now towards the end, I would like to call upon my co-presenter, Brother Usman Ilahi, who has personally gone through a journey of self-transformation. I would like to request him to please come up on the stage and share his personal self-transformation journey with you all. Thank you so much. That was from my side.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you very much, Iftikhar Bhai, for a very comprehensive and detailed breakdown of what is required for us to do to achieve a very healthy and a well-balanced life. Now I want to give you a little bit. Can you hear me? All right. Let me give you a little bit background of who I am and what my transformation journey has been. I came to Pakistan in 2018. And I lived all my life in Saudi Arabia. I was born over there, I was brought up over there. And one of the common things that I felt when I came to Pakistan that was with the GCC countries, if anyone of you have actually lived over there, is the fact that there is a very huge love of food. And I also loved food. And I used to eat fast food, I used to drink sodas, and that was the lifestyle that people my age were going through. And when I came to Pakistan, I thought, you know what, I'm going to go over there and I'm going to stop eating all this fast food and, life is going to get a little bit better. I'm going to start losing weight. And I was more than 95 kgs in 2018. And when I came to Pakistan, and I did lose a little bit of weight, but I wasn't losing a lot of weight. And with that, there was a lot of problems that were coming. And one of the major things that I felt was the fact that I didn't have the energy to conduct a lot of things. The other thing I felt was there was a lot of physical restriction. You know, there was a lot of muscle problems that I was facing, and I wasn't that old. And that was becoming a huge concern for my family as well. Then I moved on and I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to actually focus on doing exercise. And I started exercising, but I didn't take care of my diet. And one of the things that I really loved about Iftikhar Bhai's presentation was the fact that it gave a balanced view of what needs to be done from a mental standpoint, from a nutritional standpoint, and from a physical standpoint. And that is something I feel we miss as a society in Pakistan. That is something that is not taught in our schools. That is something that we don't do in our houses. And I feel that we need to speak about it. And that is one of the things that I have actually brought within my family when I started on this journey. So when I was focusing just on dieting, it didn't work. And when I was focusing on exercising on its own, it didn't work. But once I combined these two things, then I didn't see any results. The first week, there was no results. The first month, there were no results. The second month, there were no results. The third month, still no results. But sometime after the third, fourth, fifth, sixth month, the results started to come in. I noticed in myself that there was a change in the ability to, comprehend things. There was a consistency that was coming in my personality. There was a way that I was looking at things, the goals I was keeping, I was achieving them. And that is one of the things that I learned with fitness. That once you get into fitness, what happens is that your mindset starts to change. You set yourself personal goals, and you're consistent with them. You're determined to achieve those personal goals. And that actually transcends into different aspects of your life. Now, the pinnacle moment that came in my life where I decided that there is something I need to do and physically, be determined to change it, was about 1 year ago, this month, in September 2023. I went to sleep. And when I woke up, I got on a bed and I couldn't put my foot down on the floor. I had really, really bad back pain. Really bad. I couldn't walk. And my wife said, you know what, you gotta go see someone. And I went to a physiotherapist. And he pulled my legs and my arms and he did all the things. And he told me, you know what, your muscles are weak. Your lower back muscle is a problem, you've got thigh muscles a problem, your traps are really weak. And when you walk for a little while, those muscles overcome, and they're the reason why this problem is occurring. So I asked him, what am I supposed to do now? He goes, no, you know what? It's going to take 20 sessions, and you can come to me, and in 20 sessions, we'll sort this out. But that one session, he pulled my leg so much, I'm like, I'm going to pay you, and you're going to beat me up? I'm like, I'd rather not do that. And that was the moment that I decided that, you know what, I'm going to go to the gym. And I'm going to be consistent with it. And I have lost more than 15 kgs in 1 year. And during that time period, I have felt the difference in behavior of others with me. I've seen a personal improvement at work. I have felt a determination that I never had before. I've realized something about me, that when we actually start focusing on our goals, when they're very small and we're consistently focused and working on them time after time, one step at a time, and we achieve it, it gives us a sense of achievement. And that sense of achievement actually helps us realize that we can achieve bigger goals. Now, one of the things I want to highlight, and I really love the fact that Iftikhar Bhai, hinted towards this, is that we as a society don't focus on this. We don't talk about it. We don't talk about mental health. We don't talk about, emotional health. We don't talk about spiritual health. We only focus on physical health. And I feel that even with the physical health, we just feel that if someone has a little bit of weight, that's perfectly fine. But if you look at societies, if you go to the UK, if you go to Japan, if you go to any other country, tier 1 country, a first world country, that focuses on well-being, they have a balanced diet. They exercise. And I feel living in DHA and having these opportunities that we have right now, we're very, very blessed. We have things on our fingertips. We can go to places. we can start walking immediately. And the thing I want to highlight in today's session, and this is something which is very paramount, and this is very close to me, and this is what something I have felt at home. I have a 6-year-old son. And when I started going to the gym, he started to understand that my dad, every single day, goes to the gym for 2 hours. And he knows what a gym is, and he asks me, what kind of exercises do you do? He's 6 years old, but that element, that culture, that mindset is actually coming into him as well. He wants to go with me to the gym. He wants to go and check out what happens over there. He's talking about what kind of exercise do we have over there. He talks about what kind of exercises he does at school. And I feel as parents and everyone in this session today, the time to make the change is not tomorrow. The time to make the change is right now. And it's the mindset that you gotta change. And it doesn't have to be that you have to go and do a 2-hour session in the gym. It can be something really small, and I love the fact that Iftikhar Bhai hinted at that. You have to start small, you have to start somewhere. And once you set yourself that goal, that one small goal, and you achieve it, you can set yourself a bigger goal, and then a bigger goal, and then a bigger goal. And the best thing that you can actually do is get others involved in your family. You can take your wife and say, you know what, let's go for a walk in the afternoon. You can take your daughter, your son, your cousin, anyone. And that could be like a group activity for family bonding at the same time. And that is actually going to affect your relationships, it's going to affect your health, and it's going to make you feel that, you know, you're doing something positive. And that really transcends into other parts of your life. Now, obviously, once I did all of this, and it was this Ramadan that I felt there was a difference that really came in me. It was the fact that every Ramadan I actually said to myself that I'm going to set myself goals, I'm going to finish the Quran this Ramadan, and I never did it. There was always some reason that, you know what, I'm tired, I can't do it, I'm really thirsty right now, I don't have the energy, I'm going to do it afterwards. But what happened was quite unique because I was focusing throughout the year on my diet. I always had the energy. So when I was fasting, I felt energetic. I felt that, you know what, I do have the energy. I can actually, you know, do other things. I can still walk, I can go to the gym, I can enjoy myself, I can go pray, I have that energy. And I finished the Quran. And that was an achievement for me. I never did it before. Then the second thing that hit me was the fact that when I was praying Taraweeh, before I never prayed all of it. I just prayed a couple, I had back pain, I went home and I said, I can't do it, you know, I can't stand, I had too much during the iftar time, I'm really bloated, I can't do it. But mindful eating, exercising throughout the year actually showed me that if I set myself goals that are achievable, I can actually become a better person religiously as well, spiritually as well, mentally as well, and physically at the same time. So at the end of the day, guys, the most important thing which Iftikhar Bhai has brought to our attention, and the reason why we all are here today, is the fact that we need to make a change in ourselves. And obviously we need to look at what kind of changes we need to do. It doesn't have to be drastic. It doesn't have to be massive. It doesn't have to be life-changing. It can be a very small thing, but if you do it consistently, if you have a determination, and if you have the right mindset, and you keep at it, you will definitely find a positive result at the end of the day. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you everyone that has come and taken their time out for today's session. I really hope that you enjoyed it, you learned something, and obviously you invested your time with us today to listen to us, and I hope we gave you some good return on your investment of your time. So Jazakallah khair for everyone. Thank you.
It was indeed a very informative session. Thank you so much, sir. Now, I would like to call Director JFC Brigadier Mumtaz Ali Khan to please come on the stage and present souvenir to our today's Chief of Guests, Dr. Iftikhar Shehzad.